for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senators Bobby Ryan and Jason York.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Coming In Hot. It's Monday alongside Jason York and our resident certified donkey, Bobby Ryan.
Good afternoon.
Listen, Bob, I wasn't going to start here, but I was just having a nice Sunday morning with my coffee, and then you chose violence.
Chose violence. We had to. Oh, that was violent in its own right. Hey,
we'll get to the bacon later in the show, but
okay.
I was just, were you what? Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Were you just cranky?
I was just cranky and salty and sick of the dumb takes that I see coming across every single game. So woke up and chose to be in charge of fixing it.
Okay.
Well,
But it made for some good entertainment on a Sunday. It was a day off, so I was enjoying it.
I believe there's. Can you guys hear me?
No, you're on a different mic. You're on your AirPods.
Damn it.
We'll get to Tim Stützle in a sec. But I'm just curious because when you step outside of the norm of just trying to make everybody happy and you say something controversial, people jump all over you on this little medium, right?
Oh yeah.
How much does it bug you? Because for me, for a long time, it would bother me.
Getting the criticism.
Yeah, like there was some really harsh stuff said back to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're always. It doesn't bother me.
No, okay.
Yeah. No. I don't think more than 2 seconds about any of it.
Okay.
And then it was nice. I had a nice little Sunday night. I was downtown with. We drove down and Lindsay brought me to go see Whitey. So we caught up with him for about 45 minutes, and then got the heck out of there because the place. There's never a bad night in Nashville, apparently, because the bars and everything. When we were walking back to the car, I was like, "This place is a zoo on a Sunday at 9:30." It was unbelievable.
I love downtown Nashville.
Well, you got me now?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay. But one more thing on Bob. You now, though, because of Sunday, there's now an official donkey certification program going on.
Yeah, I heard about that. I like that. I like that.
It's all online. It's all online. So you got to sign up if you want to be a donkey. There's some skill testing questions, and if you pass, you get your license.
That's
certified,
nice.
Certified donkeyfication.
I smell merch coming.
There can't be any skill testing questions. It's a certified donkey exam.
It's a skill being a donkey.
If there's anything that doesn't have a skill testing question, it would be that. Okay, boys. Let's just move along, shall we? And that's to part of yesterday was, Bob, you agreed with somebody who thought maybe we should trade Tim. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
Just take me. What do you think should happen with Tim Stützle? Where do you stand?
Maybe you're not. I don't stand on trading them. So that's the tough part about Twitter sometimes is when you agree with somebody's assessment, but not the entire piece of the tweet, you can't really win that battle. Like if I'm anybody, they're not shopping Tim Stützle. He's a 90-point guy. And they don't grow trees, and he's locked up at 8 million. So they're not trading Tim Stützle. I wouldn't trade Stützle. All I agreed with was the assessment of him. And that is his play lately. But I wasn't agreeing with trading him and moving on. I don't agree with that, but I agreed with the assessment of what that guy thought. And I've thought that for a little bit. I think that, it was an accurate assessment.
Well, that's not very sinister. I thought we were creating a whole new villain here, a whole new a whole new character for the show.
No,
Monday's changed everything.
Yeah, I apologize.
Oh, God. Sends are done. Sends are done. Got to spice things up. And any good show, you have to have a villain.
I'll be the villain the rest of the way. I got it, fellas.
Okay, but so before you hijack this, Bob, do you think that Tim Stützle just needs to grow up and mature? Like there is a huge group that thinks that he falls too easily, or that I won't call him the diver, just that there's an immaturity to his game. And we saw that with Sidney Crosby when he first came into the league too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times that people said that he was whiny. You see a lot of that with, and I understand people think that every time you get hit in the face with a stick, it's a penalty, but it's not under the rules in the NHL. That's because if you fall and the stick is coming through, it is not a penalty.
It's not a penalty.
And it's a whole other conversation. So does he just need to, does he need to grow up?
A little bit. Yeah, he's a little dramatic for me on the ice at times. He can be. So yeah, I would like to see that kind of go away for him a little bit, because you're just drawing attention to yourself that way, right? And it's not positive attention. He's gonna get enough of that because he's so good, but you're just drawing negative attention to you. Other players pick up on it. It's exhausting when you have a guy like that is going through something every night dramatically. It's tiring. So I would, if I was an older guy on the team, I'd be saying, hey, like let's tighten it up a little bit here. Like, nobody wants to take the edge away because he's got a good edge. Like, I love that he stood up for himself with Stetcher there the other night. But so he's got some bite to him, which is important to have. But you gotta toe the line a little better. It just seems like there's always some kind of drama.
I was thinking about this. It's almost like the guys coming up today, because they're coming up in such a different environment of, in your minor hockey, wherever you play, you're almost playing non-contact hockey growing up now. You can get penalties for hitting too hard. And even if you watch a game, especially early in the season now, it's so ticky-tacky. Like, sometimes, you will get a penalty if the guy falls over your stick. Like, it's incredible, some of the stuff. The one they called on Sanders the other night, he brushed his stick against the guy's leg. So
The penalty shot.
Players are looking for stuff all the time. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then you get to the playoffs. First round, they call a lot of penalties. Second round, not so much. Third round, let the guys play. Fourth round, you basically got to cut somebody's head off to get a penalty. It's just,
I used to think that. That's not the same anymore. It's not Yorkie. I understand it's less
in
because
comparison,
you know why? Because the players are used to playing that way. I just think that there are more penalties ever than there used to be. I'll even say 10 years ago.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's I like how they call it in the third and fourth round of the playoffs when you get to that point where you let the players kind of decide.
But so here's the argument with that, Yorkie. That's fine if your team is the one that doesn't get called, but everybody else complains and says the refs are terrible. So you've got to call everything. Like the Rempe hit. In the Leaf game. Depending on which team you cheer for, it's either a complete charge and he leaves his feet and it's boarding and it's a headshot, or it's a clean hit. There's no in between.
I would have, and I have zero skin in the game there. Like, I could care less. To me, I would have just given him a charge. 2 minutes for charging. There you go.
I think it's a charge.
You do see. I think he takes 3 hard strides and then stops skating 5, 6 feet from the guy. Like, for me, a charge has to be that you're driving through that guy.
No, he's targeting him right away. You can see on the quick strides. He is going to run him through the boards.
Well, he's just so much bigger. The only reason I say it's warranted a penalty is because he left his feet.
He leaves his feet afterwards, and so does everybody else who makes a hit.
Yeah, but when you're 6'8", it looks worse.
But is he supposed to now play a different game than everybody else because he's 6'8"? That doesn't. You don't
need to leave your feet if you're 6'8".
But he's not. But that's the way you make a hit. The force carries you through that.
No, you don't. You don't leave your feet on every hit. Like,
so his whole job is to make sure he hurts that guy. So yes, he will charge through that guy. I understand that's the play.
Just don't leave your feet. Just don't leave your feet.
Okay.
Because
I thought it was a great hit.
It was a great hit.
Awesome hit.
I agree with Bob. Like, he was going. He slowed up before he hit him, but then, like, it's different. If a guy if DeBrincat or whoever, Corey Conacher comes flying in and leaves his feet and gets the guy just lower than the shoulder, nobody cares. But when you're 6'8", you leave your feet, you make yourself 7'1". It's just, you don't need to do
everybody leaves their feet when they make a hit. He's hitting to hurt.
Everybody hits to hurt.
No, they don't. No. Do you think Alex DeBrincat and Corey Conacher hit to hurt? They just hit to slow you up.
Yeah, because it's impossible. They can't hit to hurt.
Well, okay. So you just made my point.
Anyways, who cares? Who cares? They had to fight after.
Okay.
The guy's 6'8". I love him. He's good for the game. He's running around. He reminds me of that character from the James Bond movie. You remember Jaws? It was like 6'9".
Did you watch any movie past 2000?
Okay, I'll say this again. There are no more good movies. I just watched Aquaman the other night. Have you watched Aquaman? It might be the worst movie.
How bad is that?
But what else are you gonna watch? Because all they put is shit on.
I was watching Semi-Pro the other day. It was on in the background in the house. And some of the lines when we were cleaning and doing stuff, and I apologize for the noise if it's bothering people, but we have the movers. It's the last day of move-in month. But I was just hearing the one-liners as I was walking by. I was like, they could never make this movie now. Movies like the one-liners in that movie, you could not make a movie like that anymore.
What's the song again? Is it Love Me Sexy? How does he get to it? That is Semi-Pro is a dark horse, great comedy of all time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Off topic.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's good. I'm trying to get through today's show. There's a lot.
What else do you want to talk about? How bad
we're not done with
playing lately? Like we can only kick a horse so many times.
Listen, just because you want to be negative today doesn't mean I have to be negative.
I'm not negative. We want to talk about. Anyways, move on. Stick to the plan here.
I'm so okay. The trade deadline, by the way, is on Friday. The Sens are on the West Coast. They're going to hit the ice, I think, 4:00 Eastern today. So we don't know an update on Brady Tkachuk, who didn't play. And then suddenly there's no goaltender available, and Matt Sogard's in the net, and Levi Marilainen is the backup. Like, what a nightmare for Philadelphia to go into Philadelphia. Then Zach McEwen gets hurt, so now they're down to 10 forwards.
Yeah.
They almost had a chance to win that game. If Thomas Chabot scores that goal instead of hits that post with like 4 minutes to go in the power play, we're in a different game. That's got to be a little frustrating. I think they hit 4 posts that game.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I can remember 3. So yeah, it might have been 4. That would have been the exact recipe for the team. They would have found a way to win that game this year. The way things are, I was like,
Matt Sogard was very good.
He was really good. He gave them a chance.
I like him. Maybe there's the answer. Maybe there's the
No. I don't think he's ready to play. His stat line isn't like over the course of his career, not great.
He's more ready than the other guy that's been playing lately.
Well,
yeah.
On a nightly basis, we'll see, Yorkie.
Yeah, it's easy to do it once or twice, right? But to continuously do it, maybe he's not there yet. But I thought he was really good in that game.
So
yeah,
there's one thing I think they went 0 for 5 on the power play.
Mm-hmm.
Remember at the start of the year, we were saying, how are they going to get all these guys on the power play? They're going to have 2 great power plays. They don't have 1 good power play at the moment.
They don't. There's so much perimeter on that.
But why?
I don't know. It's like without Brady, the down and in play just gets taken away, right? I can't remember one time they looked down and in, and Brady's the only guy that really gets the puck at the line, walks the goal line, walks towards the net and creates a threat. Nope. Like Kubalik, it's not his game, right? You're trying to fit him in there to a net front role that isn't really. I mean, he's a shooter, and you got him at the net front, and you're trying to. I understand Brady's hurt, so you're trying to fill a gap with a player that doesn't play the same role, and without Brady down there, they really just don't have anybody else. Drake's good on the other side from time to time. He makes some great passes, but there was just no threat of it. Nothing. The amount of one-timers from the outside that got blocked and just turned around and shot down the ice was frustrating to watch. And it seemed like nobody ever got to a position and got set. They were just floating around, making the next pass, waiting for the next guy to be the threat, and nobody was. So it was ugly. The power play is ugly. There's no way around it.
It doesn't make sense. If there's one area, they've got all these skilled forwards. If there's one area, Last year it was 6th overall in the league.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that the other day, and I remember when it used to be, this was like when Norris had those 35 goals, and it was just, everybody knew, right? You had Brady, you had Drake, you had Stutzla, you had Norris, you had Shabbat, and that was your 5. Then the next year they bring in DeBrincat, and it's like, okay, how are we going to fit DeBrincat into this thing? And we got Claude Giroux, and you have all these power play guys. Now this year you got Tarasenko in the mix. Where are we putting him? Oh shit, we got Kubalik too. So it's like, if you ever watch Edmonton's power play, it's just, they know each other so well. They could do that power play with their eyes closed. Draisaitl's over there. Connor's doing his thing, and now they got Hyman who's getting all those goals, and they've got a great point guy in Bouchard. But it's always those guys. Ottawa has had so much change in the last 3 years with different parts and different guys. And I'll tell you guys, when you're a coach trying to figure out, where do I put this guy? Giroux. Giroux should be on the first power play, but he's on the second. Well, I got to get him. So to me, it's just been, that's the problem when you have too much of the same thing, which Ottawa does. They got way too much. They got a bunch of power play guys in their top 9. Not enough jam, not enough guys that forecheck hard, and not enough guys that know how to play defense first hockey. So then now all the power. That's the only reason I can think of it, Bob, is because, I don't know, you remember when you're always, you just gain familiarity, and I just think they've lost that. Like, even Pinto. Yeah. Pinto's now a power play guy. He's the bumper guy. He's got great chemistry with Giroux, so they have this little thing going on. But so did Batherson and Norris. So there's like all these different combos. It's like, and then you fired the power play guy there, Davis Payne or whatever his name was. Now they're getting used to a new guy with Alfie. So for me, there's been so much change. Now it's just it's scattered, and it's just, they got to find and go back to what worked before. But it's going to be a work in progress, because now Norris is out. Tarasenko's leaving probably 99%. And it's going to be, until they find some familiarity, and same with the defense. You got three quarterbacks. Who's the quarterback? Is it Sanderson? Is it Shabbat? Is it Chikrin? It's just too much of the same thing. And that's why, to me, I keep going back to that. That's why Ottawa's not a good team. They got too much of the same thing.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point. They've had a lot of changeover, and they really didn't have a 5-man unit that stayed together for a very long extended period of time this year, because nothing was going right. So there's never really a chance to gel with your own individual unit when you have so many of the same player that you can insert and say, well, he's not the answer because he's not scoring in that position right now. So you throw somebody else in. It just changes everything. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with that.
And Bob, especially when you're losing, it's like you're losing. It's got to change it.
Right. Exactly.
You know how it is. How it is, and you're working on it, and then the guys start feeling pressure. You don't relax. You start gripping. That's what's happening, 100%. Then you even got a guy in Brandstrom who should be on a power play, but he's a penalty killer. 5'8" penalty killer that can't box out. Like, it's just think about how stupidly the Sens are constructed. They put together, that's why the people that were saying we got to keep Tarasenko are insane. Let's have another power play guy. That's work. And nothing against Tarasenko. He's a really good player, but it's just not the right fit.
It's gonna be. I guess we're not talking trade deadline, but I couldn't agree more with your assessment. It's gonna be so. I want to see where this guy ends up, because he's gonna. I hope he goes and plays well and gets himself another chance to win.
So
he's been great.
Okay,
me too.
Let's move to trade. Well, let's move to Vladimir Tarasenko chat. But before that, let's take care of some bills, starting with our good friends at BEI.
Business.
Am I doing it today?
Yes.
Well, thank you to our partners and our good friends at BEI, Bonisher Excavating, the heavy civil general contractor in both the public and the private sectors. You can find them at bonisherexcavating.com or at 613-432-1120. You can plan your next project. Consider them for all of your aggregate supply needs, including equipment rentals, haulage, floating, concrete formwork. BEI is helping to shape Ottawa Valley. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on.
And I'm done.
Yeah.
Yorkie, did you check your email today?
No, I got Battlegrounds axe throwing.
No, you don't. Also by Douglas Mattress. Get a great night's sleep with a Douglas mattress, and even a pregame nap if you want. Named Canada's best mattress on Canadian living. Unrivaled comfort and feel, motion, isolation, sleeps cool, release pressure points, and of course, just a great value. Loved by more than 200,000 Canadians, over 10,000 five-star reviews. Easy online ordering and free shipping. Get Douglas delivered right to your door, usually 1 to 4 business days. Every mattress order comes with a free comfort sleep bundle, pillow, sheets, mattress protector. Order at Douglas today. Don't wait. Start your 365-night sleep trial by visiting douglas.ca/CIH. Douglas, named Canada's best mattress, made for Canadians. All right, boys. So Vladimir Tarasenko, Bob, or even Yorkie, when you are rumored to possibly be on the move and you're on a road trip, how much extra do you pack?
Oh, I'm guessing he's got a pretty big suitcase. I'm guessing he's probably tucked a lot of stuff into there, and I think he's gonna stay on the West Coast too. I have a sneaky suspicion that Colorado gets him.
Oh, you think so?
I do. Yeah.
So,
I don't know why.
Just so you know, our good friends at dailyfaceoff.com, Matt Larkin, put out an article today on 7 possible destinations for Vladimir Tarasenko. You'll have to read the article because he does say why some don't work and why they're a fit, but they're not necessarily. I only think 2 of them out of this 7 could possibly work. That's Carolina, who wanted him this past summer only at $3 million, as far as I was, from what I was told. And I think Vegas, obviously with the injuries to their Mark Stone and Jack Eichel, have a chance, but I'm not sure the rest are necessarily a good fit.
I don't know. Weren't they in on Gensel too out in Vegas? So that could kind of impact it. I thought I saw their name circulating with them a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I could see Carolina making the play. Something tells me Colorado. I don't know why. And I have no basis for that. For some reason, I think that's where he's going to end up.
I think he'd be a great fit in Edmonton. Edmonton, he'd be a great fit.
Yeah,
they've got draft capital to trade with. They do have that, but I think they would need Ottawa to retain some money because they're up against the cap, if I'm not mistaken.
But that's when you could, if Ottawa retains a bunch of money, that's where you can potentially get yourself maybe a late first rounder.
Yes.
Just take who cares? Who cares if you're taking back money for whatever it is, a month and a half or 2 months? It's nothing. And Ottawa can afford to do it. They got to recoup some of those draft picks that they gave away or lost in fines from the league.
Oh, it's man. Carolina's are they just in on everybody though? Because every time I start to hear about a player being moved anywhere in the league, it's like I think is Carolina one of those teams that just kind of kicks a tire to see what the rental price is for this player or whatever it might be.
Or is Carolina more vocal in the media?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea.
But it's easy to just to say, we've asked about him or we've done this or whatever. Just sometimes they do it to see if there's interest or whatever the asking price might be differently. I do know there's negotiation done through that.
Right.
But you're right. Carolina always seems to be in the mix. And then the Islanders with Lou Lamoriello will make moves and everybody well, where did that come from? Because he will not let you discuss trades anywhere. I've known in the past, I've been told if it ever got out that he was trying to trade for a certain player and people found out, the trade would be off. No questions asked.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated now with a couple of the rumors out there that Ottawa's looking at goaltenders. Because I'm fascinated to see how could you get Korpisalo off the books? How are you going to do that? Is there a magic wand?
Well, they got him. He did go to LA, so I understand that the contract was different. It wasn't for 5 years, but they moved Dion Phaneuf. You are able to trade pieces occasionally.
Yeah,
5 years. 4.
4 more now. So.
4 more.
Like a presidential election. 4 more years.
I do think something big's going to happen, especially if they lay an egg against Anaheim. Oh boy, because that's you.
Does it really matter?
Because just think about what's happened a little while. I really believe management was starting they weren't happy. because when the coaching change took over, there was an adjustment period. And then I think they were starting to feel that, okay, we figured things out. We're starting to find our identity. We're winning some games. Guys are playing the right way. And then, geez, you lose those games. You set a franchise record by not getting a single shot on goal in the one game. You lose again the last game. And now if you go lose to the Anaheim Ducks right before the trade deadline, like that's going to be, it's going to make you, if you're Steve Staios and Dave Poulin, it's going to make you really question what you have. And I think amp up the not pressure, but the internal evaluation to make some changes, especially if they're available. You're not going to do it just for nothing, but if there's, I wouldn't surprise me if they traded maybe one of the D, maybe a Chikrin, Tarasenko for sure, and those other pieces we're talking about. But I just think this game against Anaheim is going to be very telling, because you don't want to get embarrassed again, and it's because you're going to have to. You're going to have to. I just think it's going to spur something bigger on.
Yeah. So, if you look, obviously the playoffs are not a question for this team, but Staios and Poulin and the guys that are making the decisions are really, really actively trying to figure out who's going to be part of their solution going forward. Yeah. It's a big, whether they're out or not, every single game for these guys is going to be big if they want to be back next year, right? And there's obviously guys with contract situations that are going to be back because of the contract situation, but they're not married to any of the players, and that they've inherited it, right? So, yeah.
It's a good position to be in because, you know as well as I do, Bob. Like if Pierre Dorian was still here, there's like Eric Brandstrom is playing way more. He's probably an untouchable until because you traded Mark Stone for him, and not to crap on Branny here. Like I think he's playing pretty well.
He's not. He played 928 last game, and he's playing as a forward.
Well, because he's stuck in the wrong team with three left shot defensemen in front of him that play the same way, but they're bigger.
I agree, but I'm just saying. You think like you go, he's playing well. Well, he's not playing.
He's playing well for the role he's in, which is totally miscast. But what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it. Like it was a stupid trade. It is. Hindsight says it is, but maybe at the time, like he is a very highly skilled player. There's no doubt in my mind. Do you know what happened? They had no idea Sanderson was going to be this good, this fast. Like, because Sanderson just leapt by Brandstrom on the depth chart, and I just think it was. We talked about it. Nobody gets that good that fast, and he burst on the scene. And for Eric Brandstrom, that was the worst possible thing that could happen for his future with Ottawa. Was a left shot D-man that has offensive skills. Do it. That's what happens. That's how guys lose jobs and get moved. It's something happens out of the ordinary, and that was totally out of the ordinary. Like it was crazy how good he got that quickly.
It was He I think he was way above what they thought they were getting when he came in and was that good so fast. Like I think they probably thought, here's a guy that's going to need some season, and all of a sudden you're like, no, we have a stud, an absolute stud. Yeah, and you're like, wait, what? So it was a great problem to have, but
except if you're Branny. Branny's like, damn it.
Well, Yorkie, I just want to go back to your Anaheim comment about losing to Anaheim. If they don't have Brady Tkachuk and they don't have maybe Anton Forsberg or whatever in the lineup, I don't know that it matters if they lose to Anaheim, because they'll have the excuses built in of we're missing players.
Ottawa's a cap team. It doesn't matter if you're missing a few players. You can't. Anaheim is built to lose right now. They're a glorified AHL team. If it doesn't matter, you lose that. Especially if they had done well recently, and they were continuing to uptick like they were doing, but they've fallen off a cliff here. Like these are huge warning signs. The evaluation that's going on with Dave Poulin and Steve Staios is huge right now. Right before the trade deadline, I think it's I just think it's to the point where they're like they gotta shake it up. You don't want to finish the season off like this, because if you lose this game, it's you don't want to fall off the cliff and your management do nothing about it.
Do they have to 1, 2? So you got 4 full days. Do you dress Tarasenko again?
Oh,
I wouldn't.
Oh, Bobby, great! I didn't even think. I forgot about that.
Because I was
Great
looking
question.
at like who's going to come up and fill the role, because you got guys that banged up too. So, kind of it'll be interesting. I don't think you dress them if you're looking at teams that are. They don't want to see him play. You already know his body of work. You know exactly what you're getting when you're in discussions to get a Tarasenko. So you just don't want to see him get hurt at this point if you're either side. So I'm gonna guess that he's probably not gonna play. And he's just having a nice little California vacation right now.
So yeah, because they have 3 games, 2 games. Sorry, they have Anaheim and LA Wednesday, Thursday, trade deadline Friday, and then they play San Jose Saturday. Bob, that's a great question.
You think they sit him, Bob?
I do. Yeah, I think.
Well, look what they did with way back in the day, right? With there was Mark Stone, Matt Duchene, and Ryan Dzingel all didn't play in that game in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we were in Jersey, weren't we?
You went Jersey, Chicago, if I think, or Chicago, Jersey. Like I remember the Chicago room was really. If I'm not, maybe it was Jersey. I feel like it was Chicago was really down, but it might have been Jersey. You might be right.
I just remember we were going to the rink in New Jersey, and Dzingel's like had no clue if he was playing or not, and was texting me from like 7 seats away, and he's like, "What am I doing? Like, am I going to the rink like preparing to play?" Trying to ask me like how to get through it, and I was like, "Yeah, man. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to go talk to them for you about it." But Dutchy's just sitting there. He's like, "I'm not playing, not a chance." So it was really, really weird and uncomfortable, because these guys are like, "Now we got to sit here for 6 hours." Excuse me, at the game. Like, yeah. And we went into Chicago. I think you're right, Wally. And the room was just like, you could hear a pin drop, because it was just so awkward. That was one of the most awkward times of my career.
It felt really weird. It was like almost like I don't want to compare it to a death, I guess, but it was just so much negative energy around that room.
Yeah, it was bad. The other time too, when Pajot was getting traded, he got traded while we were in Columbus, because I remember I was supposed to be coming back at that time, and I remember finding out I wasn't going to be playing that night, and then going down to his room to say goodbye, because he's like, "I'm out of here. I just signed the contract and I'm leaving." I was like, all right. It was just like it felt like me and Craig and maybe Smitty to a degree just saw so many guys leave in a 3-year period. We had so many guys wearing the jersey. It was ridiculous. Yeah. It was not a fun period of hockey.
No, like I think there was maybe 40 guys one year dressed. Like it was a ridiculous number.
Yeah. And then
what do you call that era of the Sens, when there was just all that change?
The dark days.
I remember Boro coming to me and he's like, he's like, "I think you and I should kind of address the team here." And we're looking around and I'm like, "Look how young these guys are." There's so many that are just getting called up for a game here and game there. And Boro and I were like, "Guys, like, listen, the deadline's beyond us now. Like, there's not going to be any more change. This is what we have in the room, and we have to go out and like, we have to play, and we have to do things the right way." And then we lost 7-1 or something like that, because like, we had guys learning the system in the room before the game. I remember Guy was like, "This is a shit show." Like, it was
good thing you didn't go into coaching after that speech.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Bobby Ryan, the motivational speaker.
And it was so awkward too, because like we had a kid come in. What was it, Lindstrom, in one of the trades? A little bit of an older guy. I think he came in from Vegas, if I'm not, maybe in the Stone trade. Oh God, or he was in New York for a little bit. I'll never remember his name. Nice kid, but he was just looking around, going, "This is what did I just get traded to?" Like we had zero semblance of a hockey team. It was embarrassing some nights.
It was tough to watch. I will say that. Yeah.
What year was that?
That would have been 20 Lindbergh. That's the name, Lindbergh.
It's so bad you can't even remember guys' names. There were so many guys.
would have been
I,
28.
I couldn't tell you the amount of guys that I won't remember from that team that were just up and down for a couple games here, a couple games there.
I want to check this list out of guys.
Well, look, so
Wait,
you had Daniel Taylor, Ben Sexton, Jack Rodwall, Christian Yarosh, Alex Formanton, Andreas Englund, Mike Blunden, Patrick Seeloff, Eric Bergdorfer, Logan Brown, Nick Shore, all played under 10 games. Jim O'Brien played 10, Nick Paul 11. There's just a number of guys. It's a huge number of players. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was such a mess.
Do you remember Eric Bergdorfer?
Yeah, right-handed defenseman. I do remember him. I actually thought he was pretty. I thought he was pretty good. I like being on the ice with him because as soon as he would get the puck, he was firing it to the next guy that was open every single time. So you just always knew it was going to be an honest play. I liked actually. I thought he was pretty good and a good dude. He was a good locker room guy.
This should be a quiz. Name guys from this year's team.
There's Christian Wolanin played 10 games. Whitey played 21. Weidman 16. Kyle Turris played 11.
Nick Shore sighting for 6 games.
Chris DiDomenico played 24. Everybody remembers Dito.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
he was the Guy Boucher guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got to move on because I got stuff to get to. Time for Did You Know, brought to you by Wendy's. I meant to get to this a lot earlier, so the show's all over the place. I apologize. Wendy's is letting you win real food with your fantasy teams this year and daily face-off. For those of you who want to smoke the competition, Wendy's is rewarding you with weekly prizes that will have you winning despite your lack of team building skills. Download the Wendy's app and score yourself 150 bonus reward points on your first order and grab the sweet victory from the mouth-watering jaws of defeat, along with some fresh, never-frozen Canadian beef. Go to Daily Face-Off, upper right-hand corner, click on the Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool, and then win weekly prizes like the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's and the Wendy's app. All right, did you know? Tim Stützle played 25:03 versus the Flyers, making it the 4th time this season he has played more than 25 minutes in a game twice in regulation. For his career, Stützle's average ice time is 19:18. Danny Heatley is the only Senators forward to have played over 200 games and average more ice time per game at 20:59. Kyle Turris, by the way, 19:05 for third. I meant to get to this when we were talking about Stützle, so I apologize. But he's done I know we're all over with Tim Stützle, but he's put up a lot of good points. Whether he can change his game, I think like Steve Eisman, people want to talk about perhaps of adjusting his game to be more defensively responsible. He just certainly is a world-class talent. And so, Bob, I know you're getting some grief because you agreed with a tweet that says you should probably move him out or they won't win past the second round. But I do know I'm not trying to walk it back for you. I just think it's just worded wrong that people think that you want him traded.
Yeah. I took a lot of grief for that for sure. But but I on Twitter and like, who was it? Dave Chappelle. I don't care because Twitter's not a real place. So I don't think they should trade him. I would just like to see him grow up a little bit. Yeah, grow up a little bit, right? I think the team would be better if he was a better 200-foot player and stopped at some of the dramatics. But nobody is denying how special he is as a player.
Yeah, and at 22, right? Like, let's see what happens in 1 year or 2 years.
Well, yeah, I do. You brought up Crosby earlier.
Yeah.
And Crosby, people forget, like, because he's such a polished guy now. He's just such a ambassador for the game. He was labeled a crybaby early in his career. Like, he had a reputation with the refs, and it took him a while to shake that. Like, people forget it's a tough league. I think he will grow out of it. I just think you learn lessons, you get better, you learn the league, you figure things out, and your body does get stronger too. Like, what's going to be 20? He's 22, right? He's 22.
Well, yes, but you remember, so it used to be the guys never played in the NHL this young, or had to be ultra high end, right? And so, and I know Timmy's there, but normally there's a year or two in the minors for these guys before. Now they're all playing in the National Hockey League at 18, 19. So it just takes some time for them to figure it out.
And you honestly don't really get, I call it your man strength. I used to say till you're around 25, 26. Like, he's still like, he's still got that baby face. Like the kid's going to get a lot stronger. And I think you see how he goes down sometimes. I think just overall strength will help in that as he gets older. It's just takes you a while to figure it out, and it takes you a while for your body. Like that's the kind of a curse, Bob, because you were good early. When you're good early, like people just expect things right away. You get 90 plus points last year. People, he's going to get 100 this year. Whoa. Like it's tough to do it once, but at a young age, but now there's a bullseye on you, right? It's an adjustment.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Lots to get to. Also more trade deadline stuff. We have a show tomorrow, by the way. It's March 5th, which is the 20th anniversary of the punch up in Philadelphia. So we will be covering that tomorrow as well. We are working on Ian Mendez joining the show later this week. And plus, don't forget our trade deadline show, which is on Friday.
We announcing our special guest for tomorrow? Is that going to save that?
No,
one?
Save it. Somebody who played in the game will be on the show.
Oh, special guest.
Yeah. I don't like to say it in case something happens and people cancel. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the last minute cancellation. I've done that to you.
Well, if he comes on, it's going to be a great guest. And I'm 99% sure he's coming on.
It should be good. All right. So what else is going on? I've got stuff going on, people in the background. Let me just get to
sorry, Wally. There's something else going on right now that we need to get to. It's 20-4 right now. Did you know, Bobby, today is a special anniversary in the Wallace household? This guy's working on his wedding anniversary.
Oh
no.
He's working on his wedding anniversary.
You and Lisa going to Montana's tonight?
Something's going on. What I want to know, I think we've got Lisa Wallace waiting for us backstage. So Lisa, please tell me you at least got a card from Mr. Wallace today.
You know what? This is going to be bad because now Brent is going to. He's better than me, so he actually made me this fantastic card, and I still haven't given him my card. So he's winning right now. So yes, no, I woke up this morning, got downstairs, and there was a very lovely card, beautiful bouquet of flowers that he picked up over the weekend for me. And so I can't complain, and you guys are making fun of him for working. I have been in back-to-back meetings since 8:45 this morning, so I've seen him for about 5 minutes today. And no Montanas, Bobby. I think maybe some Wendy's drive-through or something.
Wendy's drive-through. Yeah, I like that.
This 20 years you guys have been married.
20 years married and like 26 together. So, and
you would have been out of jail earlier.
How are you? How did you do it?
Oh, there's a lot of patience, right? Like you survive this through patience and some really good gifts over the years, right? So the funniest thing though was that we got married in Mexico, and 20 years ago, the internet still wasn't that great. And I remember I had said to Brent, the one rule that we had on our honeymoon was couldn't check scores or anything like that. And he was like, come on, I know the Sens were in Philly and I just want to check. So he logs in at the hotel computer and sees the result of the game that took place tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And was royally pissed that he had missed it. He's like, oh, I can't believe I missed this game. I'm like, you're on your honeymoon. I think that takes precedence over a penalty-filled game. But yes,
Still
that game. Yeah, he's never that's one anniversary of a game he'll never forget. So
we need to see this card. Like, is it like
no? No,
I would like this card.
I would like to point out something because Lisa didn't bring it up. So I made the card, but I printed the inside basically upside down. Yes. So she didn't mention this. So I give her credit, but yes, it's upside down.
yeah. But
Like, is there like a heart? Like, did he draw like a red heart on the front of it?
No,
with
like
the
this
arrow
is
through?
so this is one thing I'll say over the years, like I remember Brent invested actually in this like computer program at one point that you could make your own cards. So over the years, I've gotten these beautiful cards where like he drops in pictures of either the kids or him and I and stuff. So this is a bit of a collage of sorts of pictures from him and I over the years. So it's sentimental.
Well done,
Is-
Wally.
are you?
he can do things well. He just doesn't like to show that side publicly. So now I've outed him a little bit.
Is this the? So is this how you make all these graphics for the show on your card?
He's upped his game a little bit, right? The computer programs have gotten much better now over the years. So
I could just actually picture Wally in there with his arts and crafts and your markers.
Okay, so even I'm going to take it to the next level. So when I was expecting Brooke, we wanted to do something special to, commemorate first child and stuff. So we actually hand painted these canvases, and because I used to do a lot of toll painting back in the day. And Brent, I can remember us being in our basement and we painted all these like beautiful canvases for Brooke's room. So he does
like
have
a giraffe
artsy side. Yeah.
A little, there was
A
little
lion
animals.
And yes, yeah. So
That's wonderful, just wonderful, wonderful. So okay, so what's on the agenda? What's on the agenda tonight? What's he doing? What's he doing for you?
I actually said, I was like, it's just a crazy day for me work-wise, the entire week. So I said, let's postpone and we're going out for dinner next Saturday. So apparently it's all planned. I don't know where we're going, but yeah, today I just said no, because I'm up at 5:30 tomorrow morning, and so it's like can't be a late night. So yeah, it's casual dinner, and yeah. So
well, that's good, Wally. Good for you.
Yeah.
Somebody
Wally.
in the chat asked if I bought you a lawnmower. For your
Oh
anniversary.
no! You know what? That's the one gift that he has never. I've gotten a snowblower, and that was my 40th birthday gift. Was a new snowblower. So
Nice.
Wait for yourself, Wally.
Who snowblows the driveway? I guess you do.
So it was because when Brent traveled so much, right? Like I used to take care of everything, and I remember we had this older couple who lived next door to us, and they used to be like, what do you need Brent for? You do it all. You cut the grass, you do the snowblower, you do the trimming, right? And I was like, well, I can't wait a month to cut the grass when he'd go away for world championships and stuff. And so he was going to World Juniors and I think was going to be gone like a month. And we'd already gotten a ton of snow. And so he's like, how would you feel about a new snowblower? And I was like, oh, best gift ever. My friends were mortified.
Just wait a second.
So.
I took you to Paris.
Well, yes, there was that as well.
Okay.
So Paris wasn't my 40th. That was New York was my 40th. Paris was because you were going to World Championships. So
if you buy somebody a snowblower for an anniversary, you better take them to Paris. That's ground say, Bob. Here you go, Lindsay. Here's a nice here's a lawnmower for you.
But I was out like I loved that kind of stuff because if it made my life easier when he went on the road, I was all for it. So it's like, and
Nice
sometimes, right, a little gift card because he knew I'd take the kids out for dinner. I knew every restaurant that had like kids eat free and stuff, and I can remember I'd run into BB Alfredson and Aaron Phillips and stuff because we'd be like, okay, guys are on a 12-day road trip. I need to get out of the house regardless of the fact that I have young children. So, a good little gift certificate to Lone Star or something was right up my alley.
Okay.
Wally, you won the lottery here, Wally.
Can we, Lisa, while I have you here, because I don't know if I'm sleeping on the couch tonight, Bobby was trying to cook some bacon, and I'm just wondering if you may have some tips for him after seeing the debacle of that he was posting. Yeah. But like Bobby, this one thing I know everybody jokes about Brent overcooking everything, and I have tried to remedy that over the years. But his bacon is like it's perfect.
That's really.
That's
little crispy.
Just slightly crispy, but not burnt, like just there's no fat kind of thing. And I remember when I first, right, growing up, I think everybody's parents made their bacon so greasy and fatty. And then I met Brent and he would make breakfast. And I was like,
Game changer.
wow, this is amazing.
Well, Lisa, do you know what the number one ingredient additive inside bacon is, right?
It's a little bit of
Salt.
fat, you know.
Salt, sodium,
Yeah.
lots of salt.
A couple pieces once a week isn't going to kill me. I hope so.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, Bobby, I think if Brent and you ever get together, you just got to get a little bacon cooking lesson from him. That's Wally's breakfast is solid.
Really
like it's his
solid
best.
breakfast team.
Yeah, like omelet. I did for my birthday and stuff. I'll say like there's no point going to a restaurant. Brent makes a great veggie omelet with everything I like. Bacon. Hey, for once I'm being complimentary to you.
I can't handle it.
At least you go to that driveway snowblower. I'll have breakfast ready for you when you get here. just take care of that. What a woman. What a woman.
Yeah. You gotta try. But yeah, you guys should appreciate when you travel, wives have to take care of everything when you leave the house. I remember the biggest thing, and you can talk to Mendez about this, because I used to tell Brent, Mendez, when he'd go on the road, would cook meals in advance for his wife. And I'd say to Brent, like, how come you can't do that? And he's like, because I'm not Mendez. I don't do that. He's like, here's your gift certificate instead. So
that's amazing.
Mendez is tweeting out all these casseroles he's got made. Oh yeah. I'm like, okay, Ian, settle down.
Throwing you right under the bus.
Oh yeah. Okay, Lise. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Thanks for having me. We'll see you for our Wendy's takeout. We'll figure out what time we're going through the drive-through at.
Love it.
See you, Lisa.
You. Happy anniversary.
A snowblower. Are you kidding me? I can't believe you're still married. I can't believe you're still married.
Lisa, Yorkie, you give them what they want.
Bacon. That's it.
Just keep giving her bacon.
I will absolutely take that bacon. It's amazing. I can't do it right. And I don't like doing it in the oven. A lot of people had said that to me on Twitter. Yeah. I just don't like the way it tastes coming. I don't know. So I'm gonna stay committed and keep going. But I made it the other day, and then 20 minutes later, Lindsay's like, yeah, no, I'm doing this. And so
just much better. Turn it on high. You cook one side, flip it over, turn it to medium, and then use a fork and just press down on it so it cooks all of it evenly.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, till my next bacon adventure, I'll send more pictures for you. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
We got some work to do because we do have a new sponsor. But before that, let's get to our DoorDash Hot or Cold Performer. This is what I know, it just throws the whole show out of whack. This show proudly delivered by DoorDash. Get everything you need. Yes, even at the last minute. Choose what you want from where you want. With Double Dash on DoorDash, you can order from multiple restaurants or store in the same delivery without additional delivery fees. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and zero delivery fees in their first order, $15 or more. You download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25. That's that's 25% off up to a $10 value, zero delivery fees in your first order. Download the DoorDash app in the App Store. Offered valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms apply. So I went with Ridley Gregg. I know we've talked about him before, but like people don't realize, I just think he's done a really good job this year, and he's been able to move in and out of the line or up and down the lineup and help everybody. It seems like tied for first overall in plus minus and rookie. He's 11th in rookie goals. Remember, he missed a bunch of time. 14th in points. Only rookie in the National Hockey League to have a shorthanded point. Andre Mazzaros, by the way, holds the Senators franchise record for rookie plus minus at plus 34 in 05-06.
Oh wow. Yeah, everybody on that team was plus quite a bit, weren't they?
They had a pretty good team back then.
Yeah, that team was a wagon.
Yeah.
Hard not to be a plus. But and Ridley, I think he's just really found what works for him in the NHL at the NHL level, and he plays hard.
So here's the question:
awesome player.
Is he better off as a winger in your top, I'll say 6 to 9, or as a center on your fourth line? If right now you went Stützle, Norris, Pinto, Gregg.
Yeah, I think you got to find the spot for him on the wing if that's what you're going to roll. Norris, Stützle, and Pinto. I think you find a way to. He's got to be a top 9 player. He's not a 4th line guy. He's too skilled for that. So I would like to. I still want to see Josh switch to the wing eventually, but if that's not going to be the case and Norris is going to stay at center, then yeah, you got to find a way to get rid of the ice time that he's deserving.
I think he's a perfect 3rd line center.
I do too. I'd like to see him there, but it's going to depend on what they do with Josh. Do they see Josh playing center or wing?
Yeah.
So you tweeted, Josh will be ready for training camp. Do you know anything?
No, I don't. I just know it's not. He'll be ready. He'll be ready to go. Yeah.
Feels like you're holding out on me, but that's okay. We'll see how next year plays out. But first, let's get through this year. Now, we'd like to welcome into our show new sponsor. Betway has joined the show. Please play responsibly. You must be 19 years of age or older. So we're changing up our lock of the day to every show. We will be picking something. So this will make it a lot easier it'll make it a lot more entertaining down the stretch. There'll be more games that I can perhaps get back into this thing. So huge game tonight in the National Hockey League. Florida and the Rangers. I'd ask Bobby your pick, but you just said that Florida is going to be in the Stanley Cup final. So I don't see any reason why you're not picking the Florida Panthers tonight.
I'm not betting against them. They look very, very good. 14-2 in their last 16, playing obviously the hottest team in the league, one of the hottest teams in the league. I love Florida's makeup. I love the way they're designed, the whole team. I think they're the cream of the crop in the East for me. So I'm taking Florida.
Yeah, first in the National League in goals against. The Rangers 4th, so it should be a tight game. Of course, these are the games that usually like 6-5.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be a shootout. But I'm taking them.
Yeah, I'm a good goalie battle too. You got Bobrovsky and Shesterkin playing tonight. Yeah, the only thing I look at is home ice. I don't have it in front of me. What's New York's home record right now? But I got to garner that it's good.
It is good.
I'll go different. Yeah, they're pretty good at home. I agree with Bob. I like Florida a lot. I think they're the team to beat in the East. But I think on this given night, I'm going to take the New York Rangers. On the back of Igor Shesterkin's going to have a big night. So
the Rangers have won 6 straight at home. They're 21-7 overall at home. So the only concern I have is the streaks are tough to keep going.
Yeah.
I think both these teams though are just rolling through the leagues. But I'm going to take the Rangers to win at home.
Okay. So, I'm on my own.
Yeah, again, you got lucky with the Arizona Coyotes, if I remember correctly.
They were due.
We bet. When did we bet the Arizona game?
Last Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were adamant because they were on a 14-game losing streak that they were going to go to 15.
Well, I let Yorkie decide for me. I said, whoever he's picking, I'm picking the opposite. So thanks, Yorkie. That one was more about you and less about me.
Do you know what though? It's almost come to the point whenever Ottawa plays they're a bad team too, but take the equally as bad team because every time they play a crap team, they lose.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens in Anaheim. We will pick that game tomorrow. We'll find out about Brady and what's going on there. Hope it's not long term. I'm hoping he's okay.
Yeah.
Until then, gentlemen, Yorkie, I appreciate you getting Lisa on the show. That was nice. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Don't forget, huge guest on the show, one of the all-time greats for the Ottawa Senators, and we'll discuss the punch-up in Philadelphia 20 years ago tomorrow. See you, everybody. Take care.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.